Hey everybody, welcome to the Watch and Listen podcast. I'm excited to have you here. This is a show all about watches. We explore every little niche of the watch world, or if we haven't yet, we most certainly will. It's only episode 16. We'll get there. I host it with my good friend Cameron Weiss, the master watchmaker and CEO of the Weiss Watch Company here in Los Angeles, California. Before we get started, this episode of Watch and Listen is brought to you by Crown & Caliber. Crown & Caliber is your one-stop shop online destination for really, really nice secondhand luxury watches. Major brands like Rolex, Omega, Breitling, minor brands like, I don't know, they're minor. Take your pick. There's a lot of them. Crown & Caliber's got over 2,000 watches in stock, not to mention an entire staff of watchmakers and technicians to make sure the watch that you buy from Crown & Caliber is in perfect working order. And if you've got an extra watch or two or three that you're not wearing so much anymore, turn that into a new watch that you do wear. I know watches don't take up a lot of room, but there's nothing more useless than a nice, expensive thing that you don't use. Turn it into something you do use at Crown & Caliber. And now that it is May, we have a new code. We don't like these bots and stuff getting a hold of all our discount codes and making everybody look bad. So we got to change the code. It used to be one thing. I'm not even going to say it. The new code, CAM150, CAM 150, CAM 150 will get you $150 off any watch at Crown & Caliber. $150 off any watch at Crown & Caliber with code CAM 150. All right. We are also brought to you by Beeline Coffee. It's delicious. I don't know if I can say legally that it's nutritious, but it is delicious coffee. Beeline is a single origin. It's really nice micro batch, micro roasted stuff. It's car-themed coffee, which would be sort of weird if the beans weren't so delicious. They're so delicious. It ruined all other coffee for me. I can't drink anything else besides Beeline, which incidentally actually kind of makes my life harder, but also makes my life better. So I'm willing to have that be okay. Use code CHRONO, CHRONO. Code CHRONO will get you 15% off anything at the Beeline Coffee store. BeelineCoffee.com. Delicious stuff. Cameron's got a roast. I got a roast. We all got roasts at BeelineCoffee.com. Code CHRONO, 15% off. Okay, this episode of Watch and Listen is interesting. Chef Sang Yoon is such an interesting guy. I've hung out with him a few times. I can't quite put a finger on him yet. He has the interesting taste in watches. He has watches that he beats up, and he has other watches that never leave the box. It's hard to figure out, but this is a deep dive into some strange watches and a strange way of collecting over 100 watches with one of LA's most celebrated chefs, pretty much the inventor of the gastropub here in America with Father's Office like 20 years ago. This is a fun episode with my friend Chef Sang Yoon. Enjoy. You ready, Cameron?
Yeah.
Good?
I'm good now.
Are we settled?
I felt really small at the table, and I had to boost my seat up a little.
Everyone's seat adjusted properly?
Yeah.
Chef Sang Yoon, welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here again.
It is, you were in the other room.
Yes.
You haven't been in this room.
No.
This is Studio Bizzle, Studio B. It's where we're allowed to talk about watches. It's a safe space for watches. You can't talk about watches in that room because the audience, revolts.
Do they?
That's not why we come here.
I would figure it's almost the same audience.
Dude.
It is, but they haven't come to terms with that yet.
It is.
Really?
Yeah, it is, but some of them just don't understand yet. They don't understand why movements are related to cars, but what they'll have to do is listen to last week's episode of this show where Spike Ferriston and the two of us explicitly go over what cars and watches have to do with each other. I have a weird sound in my headphones. Is that what anyone else? Your headphones sound a little echoey, or are we okay?
Mine sound pretty
You
good.
sound good?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me. Is this plug? Oh. All right. That's better. My plug was half unplugged. Anyway, Sang, welcome back to Studio B.
Thank you.
We could easily do the all watch chef hour like every week because the connection between chefs and watches is very strong.
Really?
It is. I think.
I wouldn't figure that.
No?
No.
You don't think so? The successful chefs, anyway.
Well, I don't know. Just okay.
It's not like watches necessarily go hand in hand with cooking per se,
Right,
but I
right.
think the chef personality, because it's a watch, it's like a trophy you can have in the kitchen a little bit. No?
I think food could be seen as either fuel or much more than that.
Yeah.
Just like a watch could be, you have the time on your cell phone, or it could be much more than that.
That's way more eloquent than my trophy metaphor, I think, Cameron. But do you think it's odd? Are you the only chef that you know that's into watches?
No, I think it's just a guy thing more than
That's true.
particularly a chef. I don't per se think of it as related to what I do, but there's a lot of guys who do a lot of different things. Car guys, lawyers, bankers.
That's
know
true.
lots
I
of
guess
guys
when
who
you
are into
have something
watches.
that's 100% male, there's just going to be overlap with any other male dominated.
Well, it's
hobby
funny
or-
because my girlfriend has. I got her this. She wanted an AP actually, and she doesn't set it.
What do you mean?
She doesn't she doesn't wear it.
She wears it as a bracelet.
She wears
basically?
it as a bracelet, right? So,
I mean, okay.
and she couldn't care if it was a quartz movement or
She just likes how it looks.
she just likes how it looks. It could just be like a picture of a watch. It really wouldn't matter. But
You should just print her. Yeah, you should print her like a slap bracelet of an AP.
right, a 3D printed.
Get her fake. I mean, I don't want to say that.
It's
but
too
like,
late.
I know. That's funny. I just recently committed to making sure that if I'm going to wear the watch, like all the functions are set. Like I can't go. I used to not care about dates. Now I got to set that shit. You. What?
No, I don't care about the date function on most watches, but sometimes when you have those perpetuals and things, take like 4 hours to set the watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm scared of that.
what are you pointing to?
That's a perpetual.
Oh, I have that watch.
It's great.
I have they released it initially to what's it called, Cellini. They did it in a run of 50 in a titanium case.
Oh, cool.
I have one of those, but it's the same movement.
Yeah, no. This one is it's limited edition.
Yeah,
but
that
it's
has
like,
the moon phase in 2 hemispheres.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's important.
Yes.
It's important.
Right. It's like, well, what moon is in Belize at this moment?
I know. I don't know. I think this watch is a good expression of my personality, but I am afraid
Complicated?
it is complicated and it's bold,
Big.
but also it can go. It slides underneath sometimes, slides under the radar a little bit.
I love the big Pilot case.
Yeah.
I loved it since it when it first came out, like around like 07. I can't remember.
Craniotes was talking about it, and
Yeah.
Adam
He was
Craniotes
talking
from
about
Red
that
Bar,
same
he's all about
limited
that.
edition, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's obviously a recreation of something that was much bigger. It was like 55 back in the day. When it was
like a fucking World War II watch.
observer watch they call. But I
Yeah.
love that. I mean, I think it's a beautiful case. It's timeless and
It's good, and I've actually accidentally smacked it into a few things in the first month, and so far, so very durable. Actually, hard
Good.
steel.
I have the first version of that, the 5002. Before I think they messed the dial up, but I have the first one with the buffalo strap.
What did they mess the dial up with?
No, not that one, but
Oh.
the one with just the time and the 7-day power
yeah.
reserve. Like,
What's it called? Do you know? What was it?
Well, they changed it was called the 5002, and they changed it to 5004 later, and they changed the
This is
dial.
a visual show. We can do it here. Look, we can show that this guy.
So the original dial, yeah,
This guy here.
Yes, that's the original dial, and then they.
Okay, hang on. Look, we can show the people. It's a video show.
Yeah,
Boom.
that's
Here's
the original dial.
Yeah, I got a full screen.
And then later they altered it slightly. You can see the font change, and
That's a very pretty watch.
it is. That's the original, right?
Simple, and then where's the later one? Is that-
5004. That's right in the middle of the screen. I think
Here?
I think that's it.
That looks the same. Here, we'll just do it. We'll just do it right. 5004. Oh yeah, the more contemporary.
Yeah, and they rounded off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks
So
soft.
that's the font that mine has. Yeah, that's the current font. Oh, here, look. Someone has done this for us.
There you go.
Yeah, here we go.
See, this one doesn't have,
Shaboom.
it doesn't have the 9.
Yeah, you've got your half 2 and your half 4 there.
Old or
And
new?
then you've got the different
Oh,
colors
boy.
on the date as well.
Different. Wait, say
I
what?
have the one on the left.
So you've got.
Oh my God, these pop-ups! Fucking hell! Oh no! I just installed Chrome today on this computer. I was tired of Safari, and I apologize to the people for that. That's very clean design. Very nice.
Yeah.
And that really mimics the original. If you look at the even the one from the 40s, the 30s and the 40s, that one kind of mimics the dial.
I'll find that later. Yeah, it's lovely, but afraid to let it die.
What?
The power reserve. So
oh yeah, you got to wind that shit every. Yeah. But that one has the 7-day power reserve as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's it's like 8-day, and
that's right.
This is the old one, right?
Yeah,
that's the super old one.
Yeah. And that one, the strap's like like a foot and a half long.
Yeah, because it goes around your giant flight suit.
Yeah, the fur cuff.
I do like the 2 rivets. I actually just got. Look at this. I'm not trying to. I've been talking about this watch. I got a new strap. I wanted to go leather, so I went to the IWC store, and IWC wanted $750 for their stupid strap. This I got from a guy in the Ukraine on Etsy.
Wow.
And it looks almost the same, except the stitching has a design that sort of curves through the middle, whereas the original one, the stitching, contrast stitching goes all the way around the outside. So it's just a slightly different pattern in the contrast stitching, but has the same rivets, and it's calfskin leather, and it's full grain. I paid $120 for it.
It has a certain Ukrainian flair to it.
Yes, bro. Yes, it's very Ukrainian. But actually, I like it. I think it works really well with that watch. I'm happy with it so far. I've been like working it back and forth to break it in because it was kind of stiff when it should. Do you have a good strategy, Cameron, for breaking into leather?
I usually do the same thing. I don't
right?
do it like that. I'll usually
wear it
take
in the summer when
my
it's
hands
hot.
and
It'll break in.
Show the people.
I'll add a curve here.
Put it in the right place, bro.
Sorry.
You do what?
I'll kind of add a curve here just by going like that.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the spot where it really can be annoying if it's too stiff.
Uh-huh.
A lot of people think it's over here, but right here where
where you're showing is about a half an inch from where it meets the watch.
Because that's where your wrist kind of ends, and then it has to go around the tight corner to get around your wrist. So that's where you need the curve.
Good too.
And on a stiff new strap, that's what's uncomfortable. That part being flat.
Is this a Crown and Caliber like loaner, or did you buy this?
No, I bought this.
Oh, you bought this?
Yeah.
This is you. This is all you.
From Crown and Caliber.
You committed to it.
I did.
Yeah.
I really did.
Right.
Almost more than I committed to my fiance.
Almost.
We have a date. Wedding. 4/20/19.
Excellent. Mazel tov.
So about how did your history with watches, other than being a guy who likes gadgets, begin?
Well, that's a big part of it. But my dad, he wasn't really a watch collector, but he was, a bon vivant. He was a successful guy.
Yeah.
He started the Korea Times, a newspaper in Korea in the 50s. And he was badass. And I'm not too familiar with the Korea Times. Was that like the paper of record? It was the paper.
Really?
It was the paper. It was like at a time when, there was no real media. It was like the paper or radio, there's no real TV back then. He's about to turn 94 and he's still kicking, and he'll probably still kick all our asses.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Will he beat the shit out of me if I say the wrong thing? Like at 94, is he one of those guys? Yeah, my grandpa was like that too. He was a fucking badass.
Yeah, don't cross him. But he was a guy who had a car. Like at a time, it was right after the Korean War. Like cars were really rare, so he was a real OG gearhead, and he had nice watches.
What kind of car did he have?
Well, he had a couple different cars. He had 2 Volkswagens, and again, this is the time he had a Squareback and a Beetle, and this is at a time when there weren't such things as cars. You just didn't see cars on the road. So really,
was it like horses or what?
No, it was right after the war, and the only way to get cars, especially at that time, were to buy. There were no new cars at the time. You could only buy a car used, and he actually bought his cars that were used personal cars from American Army officers.
Oh, wow.
Due to the presence of the American military in Korea. So
was that just like extremely pimp of him at the time?
So pimp.
It just didn't happen?
Right. So he was,
Here, this is the Korea Times from 1973. Winston cigarettes right on the top corner there. Pimping that Add space.
So he gave me
This is in English.
Yeah.
So it was printed in Korean and in English?
Yeah. So one of the reasons when my parents immigrated to the U.S. in the early, actually 1970, one of his main things was to go expand the Korea Times around the world and in the U.S. So he opened the L.A. branch, the Atlanta branch, the San Francisco branch. Yeah. So it's printed in.
I'm trying to find. This is still a thing, right?
Absolutely.
Is your father still involved in it at all?
No, he's long retired from it, but he was there at the beginning of the paper.
Was this literally his newspaper?
Yeah, he was one of the two founders.
Wow. So that's unbelievable. That's a real deal thing. This is from 2000 and something recent. Wow. Cool.
He's my dad's the godfather of soul.
Oh!
Did him!
Ow!
You need a button for that.
I know.
Okay.
I need another producer to get the the laugh tracks.
Yeah,
in.
the symbol. Okay.
Yeah. That's so cool. Okay, so was he into watches or just into flashing it?
No, he was into watches, but not to the degree of illness that I have been stricken with. But he gave me for my high school prom, he gave me his old little super thin. I mean, it looks like the size of a quarter. It's an old manual wine gold IWC.
Okay.
And I thought, wow, this is I'd seen him wear it on a little tiny leather strap. I mean, it literally looks like a small lady's watch.
A small watch for an Asian man is really small.
But I mean, it was small.
And for vintage, for the time, everything was
small.
Yeah.
If you saw it now, it literally looks like a child's watch.
Yeah.
But he explained to me, back then it was all about how thin the watch was.
Yeah.
It was all about like the thinner the watch, the
Still kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Not entirely.
I guess from a watchmaking perspective, the thinner the case, the
more complex,
less you can stuff
build,
into it. Yeah, right. So it made. He said, the expensive watches were thin.
Some of these really still are. I mean, have you seen that new that Piaget Altiplano thing?
I've seen it. Yeah.
It is like 2 millimeters.
Super
thinnest
thin,
watch
yeah.
ever.
It's like
then Bulgari came out with the.
Is Bulgari the
super
thinnest?
thin? Yeah, the new Octo. I think it beat like 3 records or something.
Really?
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
the new Altiplano is this, which is just the thinnest, apparently 2 millimeter dress watch.
Wow.
Is the Bulgari the thinnest automatic?
Thinnest automatic,
'Cause this is the thinnest-
tourbillon, and maybe thinnest something else.
What is it? Bulgari Octo?
Yeah, it's that's a line, but I don't know what the name of the new thin one is.
Well, we'll see. Like this looks like it's probably at Bugatti
Yes,
Octo
this is it.
Finissimo Tourbillon
That is right.
Skeleton.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's skeletonized and octagonal. It's thin is the thing. Record breaking.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo. I mean, it looks pretty dope. I did not give Bulgari much thought until we started doing this show, and people have been coming by with Bulgari watches, and they're kind of dope.
Yeah,
Kind
and
of
that's the
about
older one actually. I think there's a newer
Oh, is
thin
this-
one.
is this an older one?
that came out this year?
Jesus. Well, this
Yeah.
is pretty cool.
Who owns Bulgari now? I mean, the watch part.
LVMH.
It's
I believe.
LVMH. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like Tag Heuer and
Yeah.
and
Yep.
all the other under that umbrella.
But
Yeah.
a lot of but they're using their own movements now, right? The one that
Yeah, but, I
Craniotes
would
brought
say-
by had its own movement, and
Yeah, I think they're one of the higher level brands within LVMH. They actually have a lot of in-house watchmaking. I once met the guy that prototyped that like gyro tourbillon, the one that has the big sapphire bubble coming off the front of it, and it even goes through the back.
yeah, it looks like a tumor a little
It-
bit.
it's like it's off the front and the back of the case. It's the weirdest thing.
It's like a
but-
goiter growing.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this Bulgari is only 140,000 euro.
Yeah.
It's a value.
Mm.
It's a value. It's pretty cool, man. So thin was the thing. All right, with
Yeah.
your dad's IWC.
Yeah. And then he gave me his 36 millimeter Datejust, which I've had it like totally cleaned up and restored and looks great. And it's
That was the one.
as timeless as it gets, right? And he gave me that in college. So those are the first sort of like seed watches, and those are the gateway drugs for me.
The Rolex always does it. It's always the Rolex that is the It is that seems it's like the sport watch. It's the Submariner or something, and then you're like,
Is it the 3 Series of?
it's definitely the BMW 3 Series of.
I feel like
watches.
when you get your first promotion, you're like a junior exec. It's sort of like it's like the kit should come with like the sub and
Gucci sunglasses,
right.
Yeezys, and
Yeah.
a Submariner.
Yeah.
Okay, it's an interesting kit. Should just come as a box in the trunk.
Bottle of Drakkar.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why I said Drakkar.
I don't know.
Drakkar doesn't even really work there. I don't know what the kids are wearing these days.
Remember the Movado museum watch that had just that
Yeah.
one that was like the 80s.
Was it just the
The
black?
one marker,
Yeah.
all black.
Just the one on top, right?
Yeah.
What? Oh God, I remember those things. That was a thing, wasn't it? Museum was it called?
Yeah, it was called
Yeah.
the Movado museum. I think wasn't it a quartz watch though?
I think it was.
Probably.
Yeah,
think it was
I don't think it was
quartz
mechanical.
time.
Oh
Yeah.
man, there it is.
Yeah,
Look at
was
that.
that was the shit back.
I mean, it's great because it looks like you could do coke off it. I mean, it actually looks like what it's for. It's not. I mean, is it super thin?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
not?
It was super simple looking.
Yeah.
I mean that's super simple looking.
Have you seen the AP? I don't know what the official name of it was. A jeweler friend of mine showed it to me years ago. They called it like the gentleman's watch, and it only had the hour hand.
Oh my God.
And it was
And it's not like it was one of those sync mono hand watches. Like it had a normal 12-hour hand.
yeah.
And
There was no jumping hour windows. Just like it just had
One
just the hour hand, and the sort of marketing thing was it said like, oh, it's for the gentleman for whom the exact time isn't that important.
Yeah.
The new single hand watch because they'll wait for you because when you're paying them, they'll smile anyway.
I thought it was an interesting
Yeah.
watch.
What-
I was like,
how
it's like, did it
obnoxious.
fall off or is it
Yeah.
just wasn't there?
How obnoxious! That's so terrible. I would be so angry if someone showed up and was late and then showed me their gentleman's watch. They go fuck themselves. Are you kidding me?
It's like 4:30.
Yeah. Somewhere between 4 and 5. I feel like you have to be like 3 gins deep to show up, a couple of clicks off on your gentleman's watch.
I didn't think it actually existed until I saw it.
Oh my God. Did you buy one? Do you
No.
own one?
No, I don't own one. I thought it was. I just kind of rolled my eye. I was like, oh, okay.
So now as an enthusiast of fine 1990s era Mercedes-Benzes as well as new ones, which you are. She is.
I am. Yeah. Okay.
And you have literally shown up. We didn't want to touch this box. You brought a duffel bag with these boxes in it, and these boxes for those in the listening portion. This is like a baseball card tin with a snowman on it, or a cookie tin.
It was a
think
cookie.
I think I have Christmas decorations or something like that from some old family members in tins like this.
I definitely have old baseball cards in plastic things in tins like
It's
this.
not a watch case.
No, but
Yeah.
there's like an AP just like peeking out right here. No protection, no nothing, just chilling in the tin. Is this
And there's another one.
Is this these watches all the time, Holmes?
No, they get swapped out.
Oh, and look, a Batman.
Yeah.
So you brought a lot of watches. So do any of these wow, here's a Submariner.
Yeah.
Is that a Panerai?
Yeah.
All right, wow. We've got a whole like bouquet of watches here. Jesus, man. Do any of these watches have
Sea-Dweller?
emotionals? Jesus, look how thick this is. That's a beast.
Oh, that's the anti-magnetic titanium.
Anti-magnetic
I like that one. I like that one.
titanium
Yeah.
Panerai.
I had a
And
Panerai
it's
period. I had a
huge.
Panerai period. It wasn't
You know,
very long, but
What do you like about Panerai? Let's look at it. Put this one under the
What
camera.
did
this
I-
one's cool.
I
What
still
did
like-
you like about
Oh,
no,
Panerai?
I think I had a flirtation with them for a bit. I don't own that many of them. I have 4 or 5 of them. I think this is a Panerai.
This is
That's
one as
nice.
well. I'm going to take the plastic off of this guy. You don't see these on steel bands very often.
That's a titanium steel mixed
Ooh.
up.
You got a GMT, and so these are both Luminors. They both have the guard thing over the crown. I kind of like the guard over the crown. I think that makes the Panerai.
Yeah, I have one. I think 1 or 2 that don't, like the old Radiomare cases. But yeah, that's sort of symbolic of their design. I think it's kind of what sets it apart. And then it kind of got copied, like Graham and you saw those other people trying to
These
do
are
that crown
cool.
guard.
Yeah.
What drove you into the Panerai phase?
Well, I think it was like 2003.
Yeah.
And I think that was the main driving force, that it was 2003.
The year 2003.
Yeah, perhaps. I think, like with the Offshore kind of ushering in that big sport watch, I think it kind of paved the way for Panerai as a brand to kind of proliferate and, I don't know, get popular. And it was like the size, I think Panerai was like interesting, like proposition, that it wasn't like pure haute lingerie. It wasn't like, in that pantheon, but it was sort of like a expensive fashion watch for a while. And then, then they tried to make their own, they make their own movements now. But I think at the time it was, these are more, the one on the right is older. The one on the left has a newer, their own movement. But, for a company that just had like purchase movements, I think it had a very specific and original style.
Well, these were dive watches for what, Swiss and Italian military back in the day, right?
Well, I think the term Italian watch is just it's just a chuckle, a precision Italian timing device.
They use Rolex movements? Whose movements did they start off with?
The original ones.
The original ones did, right?
There were Rolex movement ones, yeah.
Those are really expensive.
Yeah, because there's like none of them left, right?
Yeah, and they did a re-release, like a new old stock re-release, and they were like $100,000 or something.
Wow. Well, okay, so this is what, an in-between phase? So whose movements were they buying in this middle period?
Those were at a 6497.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's right. Okay.
Are they good? Like,
yeah,
they work good?
That's what we started with.
Oh, really?
We started with at a 6497 movements with Weiss, and now we make our own movement.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
I feel like I had a real big urge for Panerai for a minute. And I resisted. I'm kind of glad the Crown and Caliber the month loaner, that satisfied the urge enough to be like, I don't think so. Is this a Marina 1950? I think that's what it is, right? What is that?
I
is that a
believe
radio
so.
here? Is that?
Oh, that's the what they call the dirty dial.
What's the dirty dial?
It has like a patinaed look on the it's a sandwich dial.
Cameron, what are you doing? What is it?
Sorry, there was a little something like smudged on there.
Smudge?
Yeah.
Probably some cookie leftovers from the tin.
I got some glare. Hang on, I gotta adjust this glare here. Oh boy. How's that, better? Slightly better?
Maybe.
Man, we have a little reflections happen. It's not even overhead lighting situations. It's not good. It's not good right now. Those are pretty watches though. You're not into them anymore so much? They sit around?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I still wear them occasionally, but not like back I did when it was 2003.
2003 was a really big year for
you. I think 2003 to 2008 was, I think, the kind of the heyday for those watches.
What was going on with you in 2003 to 2008? More importantly,
same shit, less of it. I had just fewer restaurants back then. I don't know. Just
how many are you at now?
Number 5 is under construction. Well, 5 and 6 are under construction.
Wow. So do you have time to actually enjoy hobbies, or is it just work? It's all work all the time? It's
mainly work, and, watches for a long time were like a distraction. I guess, they're, the one thing about watches, unlike cars, I don't need to find garage space for them. Hurry up, by the way.
I'm working on it. Yeah, dude, I promise. I'm working on it. I promise. I have people hounding me. Yeah, I'm as fast as I can. The city is not my friend right now.
If you need, like someone to dig or shovel, I'm
I don't need
available.
money. I need someone.
No, I mean like laborers. Yeah, I
pay off government officials, but maybe help me. This is awesome. This Sea-Dweller. This is like the chef's watch right here, because this can handle steaming in the kitchen. And
the deep sea.
The deep sea.
Yeah. I hated the bracelet on it. I thought
the rubber bracelet.
No, the bracelet that came with it. I hated because it felt too skinny. It felt like. It looked like a bodybuilder that was just like jacked up top with like birdie legs. It just it didn't. Yeah. So the way this is an aftermarket strap, but the way it kind of goes outside to meet the lugs kind of fills it in.
I really like this on the rubber strap.
Whereas if you look at the stock strap, it looks like the lugs are kind of all out there by themselves.
Is the stock strap like sort of just the same as the Submariner, or is it?
It's like that. Right. Exactly.
You can put the Submariner.
Yeah, that was one of the updates they did this year for the deep sea.
Is it gets its own deal?
It's got the in-house, or not the in-house movement. They're all in-house movements, but it has the new movement and the new caliber. as well as a redesigned. They redesigned the lugs and the bracelet that fits onto it, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if it was making it wider or anything like that.
Well, when the watch came out, it looked like it had it had obviously a bigger case, but it looked like they was using a Submariner,
Yeah,
Like
too
bracelet.
skinny.
oyster
Right,
bracelet.
yeah,
Yeah, it looked
yeah.
too skinny for it.
Right.
So I just said, I don't like the way this watch looks, so I intervened.
That's good and chunky. Does this get a lot of wear?
Not really.
No.
No.
What is your most? You walked in here wearing an Apple Watch.
Yes, the modern definition of a tool watch.
Yeah.
Yes, an
It's-
actual useful tool.
What do you use it? What do you use Apple Watch for as a tool?
I mean, it's just an extension of your phone. I mean, it's not.
Fine. This is why we don't have a fucking show about Apple Watches, because that dull ass answer is the best you can get from anybody about an Apple Watch.
Yeah.
This shit is dope. I've always this deep sea. I've always been so hesitant. Why is this camera so much looking at me and not the camera? I'm always so hesitant to put on a deep sea because I feel like it'll make me never want to wear a Submariner again.
Really?
Because I feel like I have big fat wrists, and this is just the right size. No,
Well,
this is really big.
No.
Deep seas are big.
You
Deep
have
seas
the
are big. That's
you have the physique to pull it off.
I mean, I can pull this off. But
Yeah,
I don't
easy.
think it. I don't think this is the one-to-one replacement for a Submariner.
No, but you
No.
know what it is? It's not so much. I don't think it's the width. I think it's the height.
this.
Yeah.
It's
thick. It's really thick.
Because it's got multiple pieces in the case back with that whole ring lock system. It's like a titanium system so that you have rigidity so it won't crush.
right.
into
I mean,
the
I know there's
oscillating
bragging rights, but what the honestly, what is the point of a fucking watch that can survive 8 times the depth you can?
Bragging rights.
Bragging-
It's
That's it,
just
right?
over-engineering it.
But like-
it's just like a car that can drive, get 0 to 60 way faster than you ever would need to go.
Bro, this watch is thicker than my watch, which has like 8 complications, and this has none.
Yeah.
It does look.
Yes, but
it
you-
looks great.
Yes, but your watch will explode
That
at
back.
only what, like 3,000 feet?
Only.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
This watch, I can't. I as a human, like I'm a fucking dive master, and I can't dive as deep as this watch will survive.
No, I mean
Without-
no one can. I
without
mean,
like crazy trimix or nitrox or
Yeah.
whatever.
Rebreathers and everything.
Yeah. But you seem to have a thing for big faces. We've got an AP Offshore. We got Panerai, and these are all big face watches here. You're
well, I didn't.
like
I wasn't right.
You weren't prepared.
I wasn't prepared. This was like an evacuation. You like grab all the watches from the house and show up here, and I.
So the background on Sang is, on top of being a very accomplished chef, what got him into this room instead of just being in the car show is that Sang let out when he was last here that he has 100 watches.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, really? And by all accounts, they're all like this.
No,
And
well,
this was
okay.
just what was laying around the house.
This is just what was laying around the
laying
house.
around the
It's a
house.
good-
This is just what was
Good
laying
kid.
around the house.
And this is just the cookie tin. This isn't even. That's pretty. Cranios was in here with
Right.
the carbon one of these. The
Now
other
I
day.
don't.
This one's the original Scuba watch.
Yes, original color.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made 300 of each in each color. Like they made an orange one and a red one, I think.
Yeah.
What-
for
what
different,
year
it was
is
for
that
different
from?
boutiques, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What year about is that from?
I'm gonna-
2003.
wasn't 2003. I think it was like 2012, maybe. I'm just guessing at this point. I'm not exactly.
I think it was before that, maybe 2010.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
could have been. Yeah, right around there.
This
Yeah.
one looks like it's seen some work.
I don't. Well, as you can see, I don't take the best care of.
Maybe it's just been rustled around the box.
Yeah. And at home, this is my vessel of choice, my storage vessel of choice. In the the vault where I've the bank where I keep most of them at any given time. They're more organized and they're in their own little. They have a case, so they're separated. But at home, I'm just huck it into the box here. So yeah, they get a little dinged up. But yeah, no, I mean, there are. I actually thought about this. I have an actual spreadsheet. It's a inventory, and I demarcate the ones I've never worn
What?
because there are a bunch of them I've never
That you've
actually
never worn?
I've never worn.
What do you do with them?
Actually, this watch I've never worn, and this watch I've never worn.
Is that
Oh,
is that a Vacheron or is that?
No, that's a Panerai. It's not a Vacheron.
Okay, I was gonna say that I recognize the packaging
Oh,
from
I actually-
Richemont brands.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, I don't own a Vacheron.
Wait, so that's there's an unworn Panerai in that box?
yes, I think.
You don't know?
I'm almost
Hopefully it's
positive.
still
Let's
in there.
open it. Open
Yeah,
the
go
box.
ahead,
Let's
yeah.
find out what's in it. Now I'm curious. It looks a lot like the outer box that my Speedmaster came in as well. but it's a big box for.
It could be a
this
small
box is probably 10 by 10 by 4.
It could be a small birthday cake. You don't know.
It was.
Could be anything.
That's a Panerai.
There's a Panerai.
Okay.
Panerai
Let's see what we've got
manual.
here.
What does that say? Something collection.
This is
Does
a
that say?
Contemporary collection.
Is this turning into
Temporary.
this is an unboxing
Unboxing.
video?
Aluminum 1950 3-day GMT.
Oh, awesome.
That was that what you were talking about.
That's the one I got as a
1950
loaner
before,
from
right?
Crown and Core. Yeah, it's a nice watch.
Oh, I have the PAM 127, the Fitty.
What's the Fitty?
That came out in 03. That was the first I had the old pocket watch movement in it.
Oh,
It was the first like re-release of the sandwich dial 127. Yeah, the Fitty.
The Fitty. What is that? Oh, that's this, right?
Yeah. I have that.
That's awesome. Wait, that's the Fitty.
Yeah.
It looks
Brand
nice.
new.
Oh my God, look at this. My man's just rolling up with.
Have you opened the box yet?
Have you?
I have. Yeah, I've looked. Yeah.
Comes with your nice rubber strap and
Yeah.
leather strap and the tool.
Oh, this is the 441 with the yeah. I remember this. This is the black one.
Wow.
They make one with a bracelet called the Tutonera.
Oh, this is awesome. This is a ceramic
It's a ceramic, yeah.
GMT. Wow, put that under there. This thing is rocking. Hang on, with a brown bracelet, ceramic case. Wow, Luminor ceramic GMT. Hit that focus button, Cameron. I think we're slightly out of focus. There we go. Man, why are our reflections so terrible today? What's happening in the studio that's creating our terrible... What a cool-ass watch.
It is a cool ass watch.
Shame.
I like that watch. I remember when I got it, I was like, it's a cool looking watch.
Brand new.
It is. All right. But seriously, there's going to be people at home like screaming right now going, what is this guy doing buying this shit and then never opening it? What are you going to do with this?
Well, there's guys who buy cars and never drive them, so.
Yeah, but those people are like, they can look at them in the garage and they want to like make do you see a long investment play on this watch?
I don't know. No.
I mean, I don't know.
Neither long nor short.
I'm trying to figure out if you're fucking nuts or you know something I don't know. What is it? You're nuts.
Unlikely. Okay. Unlikely I know something you don't know.
Okay. It's more likely you're just like a fucking junkie with watches.
It could be.
Yeah. All right.
That might be more accurate.
We figured this out.
But I have come around. I haven't. The thing is, the official number of the collection I verified is 104 is the number,
okay.
And it's stayed on 104 for quite a while. I have not added to that number in like a couple years.
Oh, that's a long to get to 100 and then have a couple years sober. Is
Yeah,
I've
been clean.
Should I give you a
since,
token?
Since 2016, I've been.
That happened to me with tattoos. I got 9 tattoos in 2 years, and then I haven't gotten another one since 2006.
Okay.
So I'm like 10 years
12-step program.
tattoo free. Yeah. It goes through bursts, but like holy shit, did you end up with 100 watches?
Well, I kind of got to that number really without knowing. I wasn't tracking. I was just sort of like, that's cool, and some watches.
Were you traveling around and buying them in places you went to, or you just like see it, want to get it, see it, want to get it, and you're like the guys on Rodeo's like best friends?
No. I was a lot more. I've been a lot more judicious about where I get watches, and I've gotten a bunch of traveling, Singapore, Hong Kong. East Coast. I mean, I've got kind of like a network of people I can get from at any time, but auctions here and there, a variety of things.
What's it like to buy a watch in Singapore and Hong Kong? Is it a
same shit?
Same as here.
Same shit. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I found over even in the last 10 years, it used to be that you could get watches, legitimate watches for a significant discount in certain countries, Hong Kong per se. But I've noticed that there's been sort of a flattening, like no one's really discounting like they used to. And sort of the prices are about equal no matter where you go in the world. Yeah. I mean, roughly speaking, for new watches.
You have a global market now.
Yeah. The whole like, oh no, I'll get that watch in Hong Kong for 30% off. Like, that's not really. I've not noticed that happening.
I thought that by going to Switzerland I would get some kind of a price on something.
Oh no, opposite.
No, you get hosed. You absolutely get hosed.
Yeah. No, don't buy a
watch. You know who's going to get a really good price? I'm going to pull up. Just give me a second. Hang on. I'll show you who's about to get a good price. Dark side. Here, we're gonna go to Crown and Caliber right now. Let's just pull this up real quick. So I bought this watch in Switzerland in September for $10,000.
The dark side?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you can buy it, the same watch, my watch from Crown and Caliber right now for $7,400. I wore this watch maybe 5 times. So that's where you want to buy a Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon right now.
Yeah, not in Switzerland.
That watch is literally in brand new condition and has five years or whatever the complete warranty is on it.
So what's your investment strategy on that?
So that is part of what got me this. Yeah. That watch is beautiful. I love that watch. But
is that your actual watch?
Yeah, that's my fucking watch.
Oh, I can buy your watch.
You can. I sold it to them to get this.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Because I am not comfortable with a watch sitting and not being worn. So I traded that one and on Rolex at a loss. No. Rolex was up, Omega was down.
What was the Rolex?
The Rolex was an 80s GMT. A Pepsi.
Oh, Pepsi.
Yeah, that I made. I made money on,
wow.
And then I lost the same amount of money I lost on this.
It's a wash.
I was a wash, which is fine. I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I traded 2 watches I didn't wear for 1 watch that I wear a lot.
You didn't wear the vintage Pepsi? Really?
No, I'm not good with vintage. I'm too clumsy.
Oh,
and between nicking up the bezel and or scratching the crystal or whatever, it just felt too fragile.
Yeah, the bezels back then were that thin aluminum.
Yeah,
just like. Yeah, was it aluminum or something?
Yeah, aluminum, anodized aluminum.
Yeah,
and they're
they
pretty
fade.
thin.
Yeah.
And then the fade. Mine had a great fade on it, and I wanted it to stay like that, and that meant just not wearing it. Which I was like, the newer stuff's tougher.
Yeah, the Cerachrome is
Cerachrome, and I mean even the newer steels. The steel that's in this IWC is absolutely tough. Actually, the Panerai, the steel Panerai I got as a loan, I found the metal to be soft. That's beautiful.
Nice Safari.
I nicked it up a bit. This is the AP Royal Oaks Offshore Safari.
Yeah.
That's badass. Wow, that's a really cool watch. Cameron's got his hands full right here. So what makes this the Safari?
It's just the color scheme. It's the brown Crocs.
Khaki.
I can't remember the name of that strap they have.
Is this crocodile? Is this ostrich?
So the Safari is a nickname that it wasn't like AP's nickname for it at all.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Like
so it's like Kermit or Batman?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Hulk.
So
this thing is rocking right there.
But I can't remember the name of that strap. They have a name of it.
Is it like a made-up animal?
Yeah.
No,
Crocagator.
it's the
pterodactyl strap.
So it's the very back
Hornback or thing.
Hornback.
Hornback. That's what they call it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just
Versus, as opposed to horn front.
Yeah, you can only get a little bit out of each croc, I guess.
Oh, okay. So it's the part that's
ridge.
right on the horn.
Yeah.
Oh man, how much? Here's AP bands. Whoa, what are these things going for? Hornback.
And those aren't made by AP.
This is an aftermarket.
That's an
one.
aftermarket company.
Wow, so even an aftermarket hornback band is $400.
Yeah.
I bet that's probably like $1,500 from AP for one of those bands, huh?
Oh, it's stupid.
I think it's like $600.
Oh, okay.
Well, the hornback might be more than the regular alligator. It could be like $800.
Can you put that under the thing and share it with the people?
If I can. There we go.
Oh, it's an old AP. This is an AP bracelet.
Yeah.
That's not for that watch. That's
that'd be
for
for like the diver. That would go on the diver. Yeah.
It's on another watch.
Are you trying to get that thing, the clasp off? We were not prepared for this one. I really like the color scheme of that. Do you wear that much? The khaki?
Can
I zoom? I don't know if I can zoom out. No, it's
sometimes
as zoomed out as I can go. Oh,
I don't wear I don't wear the strap watches as nearly as much because you don't want them to get wet. Yeah. So in the kitchen, you're constantly washing your hands, and in the summertime and in the kitchen, I tend not to wear those, which means
they get sweaty.
97.8% of my time is spent in some form of a kitchen. So they don't see the light of day that often. That's why the stainless bracelets get most of the wear.
I don't blame you at all. I have to take this off every time I wash dishes, or if I know I'm gonna be cooking, I have to put on.
The watch. The watch is fine. It's just
watch. It's just the leather.
Yeah,
the watch itself is
right.
Fine.
Yeah, does this get soaked?
Yeah, gross. And then it gets real nasty.
Yeah, and in the summer, you're sweaty or whatever.
I want to put that AP on though. That thing is hot. I don't even want to know. Or actually, I do want to know how much is one of those. Is that like in the
this
20s?
should be like 25, I believe.
Yeah, Yeah, it's so dope.
But that's a hard one to find as well.
I've never seen one of these before in person.
If you just walk into the boutique, they're probably not going to have one of those.
Really cool. It's a great color.
It's not a limited edition, but I heard they don't make that many.
Yeah,
that's
they don't make that many, and that's one of the more sought after colors.
I think it's very becoming.
And actually,
I would offer you an excellent price on it.
Do you ever sell?
I've never sold a watch.
But like, would you?
I suppose I've never entertained it, but I've come to a place where you're like, well, I'm not going to wear all these, and there's a bunch of them I've never worn. I actually just took it back like a month ago. I have the titanium Barrichello 2, which I think is the best limited edition offshore.
What's that?
Because it ushered in all the rectangular pushers, the Barrichello 2 in titanium.
Yeah, it's
is that this guy?
No, that's the one in platinum. The one to the that one.
This one?
Yeah. That one jumped up in value, right? Someone offered me as I was leaving the store. Some guy said, "I'll give you 10,000 more than you paid for it." As I was leaving the store,
just for this, as just walking out of the store.
I was literally. The guy saw it because you had to be on a list to get it. This was a long time ago, but
have you ever worn it?
Never worn it, but
I should have taken the 10 G's.
I should have taken the 10 G's because I could have bought Apple stock and whatever. Yeah,
you could have bought 10 Model 3 deposits. No, all right, crash and burn.
Yeah.
All right,
okay, yeah. But that's my favorite LE offshore because it has like a whole slant on automotive, motorsports, and some of the detailing, the ceramic bezel, they're not using their traditional screws around the bezel.
I like the hex, the Allen key screws. Yeah. Those are really neat.
And so everything on there has some reference to some part of a car.
The crown wheel looks like a jet or some jet afterburner or something.
Yeah.
Or it's probably Formula One exhaust. Yeah. Probably, but
and the pushers are ceramic.
Cool.
Yeah, and that was the first offshore that didn't have the round like rubbery pusher.
And and then this one here that we've got, it does it.
And it has a semi-skeletonized front, which I've never seen on a offshore like that. And the subdials have the colors of the Brazilian flag.
Where?
For the hands.
The hands.
Oh, on the hands.
Yeah,
oh,
just
shit.
The hands.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Very subtle.
I'm colorblind. That's a tough one. This is the problem with me. Someone like me looking at watches, I physically can't see that stuff.
So with Audemars Piguet, if you put together a proposal, you can actually have them make a limited edition for you.
I've heard this.
Yeah.
Right. I don't want to know what it costs, but
well, it's not so much the cost.
It's like a guaranteed order.
You have to propose it to them. It'll go through the CEO. It'll go through the whole design team to make sure that it aligns. And you could say maybe 10 watches, and they'll figure out what the cost will be for those 10 watches
with your brand.
Yeah. So I've seen some of the better clients. They have their own limited editions that they've created. And
so
they've
like
either given them to friends or they went in with friends and purchased them all.
I don't have friends like that,
bro.
Like,
so there's some rare
Matt,
ones out there that nobody knows.
Can you imagine?
Really?
Can you imagine I showed up?
This is oil money.
Oh,
this
Matt.
is sheiks.
It is oil
right?
money.
This is
it's
all what you just described is known in my world as Arab money, where it's like I am the special edition.
Yeah,
I know a guy that
But you have to buy like 10 watches.
At least. It's not, I think 10 is like the starting point.
Oh,
yeah.
Nope, that's not happening.
Yeah,
sorry.
I know someone in the Middle East that is so hooked up with a certain supercar company that there are special editions that you have fucking never heard of.
Yeah.
And that no one will ever see because he's got an underground garage and this shit gets trailered directly from his house to the fucking Dubai Autodromo, and then they do night track days and then trailered right back, and no one ever sees it. And it's special edition shit, and they're hooked up. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
It's boss that you can do that with APs.
Yeah.
Oil money.
So what about like, is I know it's Richard Mille, but I'm gonna say Richard Mille. Like Richard Mille,
Ricky Mille.
All these special. My friend does photography and calls him Dick Mile, which makes me laugh.
Nice.
And like the Bubba Watson and all that. Is that just an athlete endorsement deal, or is there like some other kind of co-branding thing happening there?
I think it's more of an athlete endorsement, but the cool thing about his brand is he actually has the athletes wear the watches when they compete.
Well, that's the only the
I thought that
tennis
was pretty
players
cool,
and
yeah.
Usain Bolt in the Olympics and stuff. Whereas, I thought
that makes a big difference because the whole thing that he's saying is we created it so lightweight. We made the lightest weight tourbillon cage. So when you actually hit a tennis ball or hit a golf ball, it's not going to cause an issue with the movement.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I'm pulling up the Rafael Nadal since we were talking about tennis.
Yeah, he plays with it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he plays with the fucking thing on. Is
I
that
saw
it?
that.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, that's ugly.
It's not good looking. No, it's not a good.
But I think
one.
it's like the Prius. You know, you have to make it look really weird and different so people understand that it's not just a regular watch.
Well, you can see it from like the grandstand.
space?
Yeah. No, you can see it from far away. And since we're talking about tennis, I should just point out. Hang on. This is something else that you can see from really far away.
Yeah.
That comes from my personal life, the Ralph Lauren Big Pony, which exists only because the ball boys wore them on TV in the U.S. Open. And people started requesting these shirts.
Wow.
So the ponies kept getting bigger and bigger and weirder looking, so you could see them on TV.
Well, in the 80s, they were tight. I mean,
they got little,
like
and
a
then they went
crocodile.
huge, and now they're back to normal again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Dick Mile, they got some weird colors. Jay-Z was wearing like a monster white one. That was the Bubba Watson, right?
Yeah, the Bubba Watson.
The Bubba Watson.
Yep.
Bubba Watson's a pimp. You know Bubba Watson?
I do.
Have you hung out with him?
No, I have not.
I never have, but if you're out there, Bubba, I want to.
But AP got kind of in a, I don't know, like an enthusiast, purist sort of battle between, like the AP sort of like nouveau riche clientele when they started doing all those like Shaq and Arnold Schwarzenegger editions. And
there's an Arnold Schwarzenegger edition AP.
Yeah, there's a few.
Several.
Oh my God, I want to see that.
The first one is the End of Days. It was.
I'm gonna look at that, but first
it was the first murdered out watch.
Here's Bubba Watson's golf cart.
Whoa.
Bubba Watson's such a boss. He has a hovercraft golf cart, which is gangster not only for being a hovercraft, but because it's a hovercraft, you can just park that shit on the green.
Wow.
You don't.
Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't ruin the grass. Fucking crazy, right?
You remember the End of Days, right?
Is it Schwartz?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
End
it's
of
just
Days.
AP End of Days. It was the first murdered out like PVD'd all black.
Yeah.
Oh my! Is it? Wait.
No, not that one. I actually like that one.
Is
The
it like
one with
this?
the rose gold, I kind of like.
End of Days.
How did it not show up?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
yeah.
You got to put End of Days in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Because these
Sorry.
are the later Schwarzenegger ones.
Those are other Schwarzenegger ones?
Yeah. Well, so Arnold's All-Stars, money from that went to charity.
Oh my God! Is this really it?
Yep.
$34,000 for this fucking thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's way more than it cost.
That
No.
is. Wait, where are we here?
I'm surprised it's held its value so well.
That is so heinous looking.
It's just all black. It's got some yellow. Yeah, there it is.
I mean, it's not good looking. It's just not. Black with like weird yellow fonts and chunky hands. I don't know.
It's super military.
It's super military, but like you're not.
Didn't you wear it in the movie End of Days?
Yeah.
That was the thing. Yeah.
Did he play a character that could remotely afford this watch in End of Days?
Oh, remember T3?
Yeah.
The
yeah.
giant, the 50, like it was like 57 mil or something.
Huge.
Was it? Oh, the Terminator was wearing an AP and T3.
Yeah.
So
if
do
you-
I need to go rewatch all my
AP
'80s movies again? And to
It wasn't
to
the 80s,
find
it was
old-
like-
I guess it's
wasn't the
2005. Yeah.
Yeah. T3. Yeah.
The
That had the crown guards on.
Yeah,
it.
and that thing is gigantic.
Yeah. It's like 50.
Offshore. Oh my God! It's so terrible,
However, I did meet a client who had one of them,
dude.
and
Look,
he was a gigantic person that made this watch look normal.
if you're a gigantic person,
Like on any normal person, it looks like you're wearing like a grandfather clock on a
Yeah.
strap. It's fucking
look
enormous.
at those pusher guards.
Right?
That is so
What's the?
crazy.
Oh, it says 48. Okay, I thought it was actually 50 something.
Yeah, but it's 48 bezel to bezel.
Yeah.
And then these are like 8 millimeters sticking out, and
It's
that's like
wait,
another
it's,
8 millimeters.
It's 48 bezel to bezel, the outside of the bezel.
Yeah,
Right?
your big pilot is like 46.
Yeah, 45.
Oh,
but
I
then
thought
it has a big crown.
the onion crown. Yeah, but I thought it was 46.
Maybe it's 46. I don't know. It's
I think
40
it's
something.
46.
But 48 is when it gets big. And then these giant pushers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
enormous. When it came out, it was like 20 grand. I think it was like 19.9 when it first came out, and my dealer showed it to me, and I was like, oh, I could
Dude.
put it around my leg.
Yeah.
40. Imagine putting on a watch. I mean, look, I like APs, but 43 grand for that?
That's double the.
Well, but that's a
list.
limited edition that's older, and
Listen, but it's ugly. The problem is that it's ugly.
but there are people who love that watch right now.
I'm sure there are. If you're
There-
out there and you've got one,
The
let
weirder
us
it
know.
is, the more expensive they can get sometimes.
Just this more rare, the special
Yeah.
edition.
You've seen it with cars. Some of the weirdest things
No,
will,
yeah,
will
but
get
it
the most
might-
money.
I guess. I guess because it's weird and it's AP. If it was weird from someone else, then I guess not. But
Yeah.
that's so crazy. That's so,
I don't own that watch.
no. The one you own, the Safari one, is sweet, and the Diver's
Yeah.
sweet, and this one, the tin chronograph. Is
Oh, that's a
sweet.
dual time power reserve.
That's
I think.
cool. I like that one. I wish you got to turn down the brightness on the camera a bit. The white is washing it out. Yeah, now you can see the textures in the dial, and I like these AP texture dials.
Yeah, I love. Well, the cool thing is, and you online you can see the video. They're what do you call it? They're Pantograph cut. They're not stamped. They're
Yeah.
actually all like.
What does that mean? How does that work?
These dials are cut kind of like on a Rose engine style machine.
Huh.
If you've ever seen or heard of guilloche, things like that, this is similar to that.
Here's a
Except,
picture of
Yeah.
it being cut. Okay, hang on.
Exactly.
Give me a second here.
except you're ending up with these straight lines, these actual squares, with all these other cuts in them, rather than having a circular pattern.
Oh no, this has not gone well. We're just gonna go. We're gonna stick it like this. We're sticking with the Google search page to avoid the pop-ups. I apologize, but
Now, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is Audemars Piguet buys vintage machines and then restores them to do these dials.
oh really? They can't have a new machine made, or
There
or
aren't
there
new
are
machines
no
that make them. Not that I'm aware of, and probably not that Audemars Piguet is aware of. So I'm guessing it's not out there. But
like Audemars Piguet couldn't have a machine made.
they could, but they actually buy machines from North America because
Really?
this type of machine was used in North America a long time ago, maybe 50, 60 years ago, or even earlier than that. And they'll buy the machines, bring them to Switzerland, restore them, and then put them back into service. And that's how they're making these dials.
That's gravy.
Yeah. And each one is
Were these dials
handmade.
in North America? Were they used for watchmaking, or were they used for something else entirely?
I don't know. I haven't been able
What's
to
the-
find any
What
old
is
watches
the name
that have
of
a
that
pattern like
machine?
this.
Does that machine
I
have
think
a
it might
name?
be like a. It's basically a pantograph.
Yeah.
So it's cutting
Pantograph.
into the material, and also moving around. We could probably pull up a
Pantograph.
video
I'm
of
looking
it.
for a pantograph cutting machine.
Yeah, I think
If you
AP
go to-
Pantograph. Try
Yeah.
that. I saw the video like years ago.
Yeah, they made a video for their 40th anniversary of the Royal Oak that shows the cutting of the dial.
I mean, I
If
can't.
you go to like YouTube and then you
I can't
uh,
play YouTube videos on a YouTube show. I just can't. Sorry if I find.
well, Audemars Piguet should have it on their website as well.
Okay.
But
It's
the
a cool
idea
process.
I'll find it. You guys.
the
We'll
idea is that
continue.
it
I'll dig.
reflects a lot of light because you're actually cutting it and putting facets into the dial. So it's kind of like a diamond where you have all these facets to reflect light.
Where do we have a thing? Astronomy, timekeeping. The AP's website is lovely.
Yeah, and the whole AP
Artistry.
case design is all like their finishes are
Decoration.
amazing.
Yeah, I believe decoration.
Let's look in decoration. Open work.
You should have one that shows dial making.
Oh my God! Look, this engraving shit. I can't imagine the patience that it takes.
Right?
To work on. Look, 8,148 diamonds. What?
Are you wearing one of your
Composed-
watches, Cameron?
I am.
Finishing.
Can I see it?
Yeah.
Perlage.
I've never
artistry.
seen one in the flesh.
It actually doesn't say anything about. It only is talking about just craziness. It's not talking about the.
Well, if anyone wants to try and find it, Audemars Piguet made a bunch of great videos that show every part of making their watches for the 40th anniversary of the Royal Oak. So
Dial.
If you look for that, yeah, there you go.
This is
There
all
should
we
be
have.
videos, though.
The tapisserie dial.
Yeah. So there's
Well-
tapisserie, which you'll find on the Royal Oak, and then you'll find the grand tapisserie on the Royal Oak Offshore.
Huh. What makes it grand tapisserie?
Larger squares.
Oh, do we have? Can you show both? We have a regular Royal Oak and we have an Offshore, don't we?
Yep.
All right. Oh
so
yeah,
you see
look,
how the
they
squares
really
are bigger on the Scuba?
Yeah. The big ones really look like the CPU from the first Terminator movie. I'm telling you.
Or like a waffle iron.
Yeah, that too. Do you want to buy one of Cameron's watches?
I'm gonna talk to you about that later.
If you have not, if you have not yet, you should.
105. Here comes.
Yeah.
You should.
105 is a good number. I like
Is
that.
it? Yeah.
Nice and round.
Yeah. Can I have one engraved with the number 105 on there?
Yeah.
Okay. How many watches do I have to buy from you to get my own edition?
Well, Matt was lucky. He
I
got
was
his
lucky.
own edition, and he
it's
just
not
had
how
to buy
many
one.
you buy; it's how many
Yeah.
you get other people to buy.
Ah.
That's how I got my own edition. I have a paint to sample dial.
Do you?
It's otherwise
Yeah.
the same, but yeah.
So
paint to
Porsche
sample.
of you.
It's but it's Bugatti French Racing Blue.
Oh, so you didn't get like
It's lovely.
GT Silver.
No, I didn't do a Porsche thing, but I just love those letters. PTS. It's really
Yeah.
good. Did we miss anything? I saw there's a Daytona in there. That's a Daytona.
Anything else in this box?
What's that? There's something in there.
Just these, I think.
What are those two?
I don't know.
We did miss the Pebble.
Do you have
Oh,
The Pebble Watch.
yeah. That was given to me by the guys at.
at Pebble?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever used it.
Yeah.
It was the predecessor to the Apple Watch.
Right?
Yeah,
I saw
I
this
suppose.
somewhere, but I've never seen one in person.
It's the only Pebble you've ever
This
seen.
is the only
Cameron.
Pebble I've ever seen out in the real world.
Well,
I've
Right?
never-
They were
I
on
don't-
Kickstarter, I think.
I don't believe
That's
I've
right.
ever seen one either.
Yeah.
it was in the curio tin, so
Yeah.
it must have
What is
made
that?
it.
Oh, awesome! This is my favorite Yachtmaster. This is the Yachtmaster with the rubber band.
Oh yeah,
wow.
the revolutionary rubber strap.
Yeah.
What was the deal with
Well-
the revolutionary? Rolex had never done one, right?
Yeah, they had never done a rubber strap, so then they did a rubber strap, and it has to have a trademark name, obviously, because it's Rolex.
What's it called?
It was called like elasto. Well, I mean, it's just the term elastomer means rubber, but
Yeah.
it had another.
The idea was, so
It's
you see these
called- what's
flat
it called?
deals.
What is this thing called?
When you put it on, it like expands to it fits your wrist better, I guess, because of these flaps they put in the inside.
What?
These little guys.
Come on. what
No,
is
go
the
back
strap?
up. You'll see the
Bracelet Oyster Flex.
Yep,
It's
Oyster
called
Flex.
Oyster Flex.
And that's these flap deals in here that are supposed to fit more comfortably. It's like a little accordion piece
Oh,
of
really?
rubber.
Let's
I don't know
try
if you
it.
saw that.
Yeah. It's got like a springiness
But
in it.
isn't there
Yeah.
allegedly some sort of skeleton inside of it?
There
Allegedly.
might be some metal elements that are inside the rubber to make it form better to your wrist.
Yeah.
and also
I think
be stronger.
I think I saw
Yeah.
something where there's like these very thin titanium plates
Blades that are
Yeah.
like in the mold.
in
yeah.
the mold,
bad.
yeah,
My bad.
molded
Yeah.
into the rubber, which
Yeah.
was
I mean, that's pretty cool. I can tell you that it's very comfortable when you put it on.
it is.
Does this get much wear?
No,
You have 100 watches. Nothing gets much wear.
nothing gets much worse.
Oh wow, the slickness of this bezel
Yeah.
though. This bezel is like a rubber coated bezel too.
it's
right?
ceramic, I think.
I
No,
thought it
it's
was
not.
ceramic.
Is it
Yeah,
ceramic?
it's
Doesn't
ceramic.
that feel like
Yeah.
rubber?
I thought it was ceramic.
No, it's ceramic.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh.
sharp. Yeah,
Okay.
ceramic. But the interesting thing about this ceramic is that they did 2 different surface treatments on it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. The shiny, the
They have
tone on
the-
tone.
Yep.
I love
which
that.
is typical for your Yachtmaster. The media blasted,
Yeah,
I guess, relief.
I think it's subtle.
Yeah.
I'm such a big fan of that watch. Every time I see somebody wearing one of those, I
So
notice it.
I'm not a big fan of gold in general, but the rose gold. I like rose gold in small amounts.
yeah.
I don't think I could wear an entirely rose gold watch, but I thought that this was just a tasteful amount of rose gold.
Yeah, you don't you're not blasted with too much of it at once.
I don't like the whole. Yeah.
Nice piece.
Not a fan of that.
Very cool. Very nice piece. Wow. You brought a bunch of cool watches, Sang.
Of no particular theme or.
No, but it got us talking about a bunch of interesting
Yeah.
topics, and that's the point, is to talk about watches.
Oh, this is a Panda white gold Daytona. I can't believe that the Serichrome Daytona is going for like 18G on the open market. What the hell is that all about?
I actually like yours better.
I like the dark subdials.
Yeah, yours has. I like the numbers on it a lot as well, and it seems like a little easier to. They gave me a Serichrome Daytona as a loaner for a little bit.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually really hard to tell time on. It was hard.
Is it a black or white dial?
Black dial?
Okay.
And it was like everything was gray or black, and it was just tough.
Yeah, because you have the silver hands, black dial,
and
then the indices are silver as well, so you kind of get lost in all these little silver pieces.
Yeah, it was just silver pieces everywhere. This one seems
with
a
the
little,
numerals. It's nice.
Seems a little nicer. These stainless steel Daytonas are going up, up, up.
This one's gold.
Oh, that's white gold.
Yeah.
Shit, I forgot. Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
feel the weight.
Oh wait, hang on. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. White gold is
Right?
It's like white gold's like a secret just for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't but look. These things are so nice though. The numerals I'm really about there is not all the Daytonas have the numerals like that, right?
No.
That's not me. That's not just me, right?
No, some of them most of them have just the stick
Just
marker.
the stick marker.
Yeah.
The numerals are nice. It's a little more like it reminds me more of like a real true racing watch having the numbers there.
Yeah, I am a fan of that. I think you brought a good assortment of watches.
Okay,
Sam.
well, I was unintentional. I just brought.
Well, considering this is what's laying around your house, we'll have to plan a return trip after a spin through the vault.
Yeah.
Damn, son.
Probably like 3 times a year I'll do the swap out.
Which is,
Yeah, semi-seasonal. So we'll just kind of put these away
Oh my
and
god, that's so dope.
grab another 12 to, I don't know, generally like maybe a dozen at a time. No, I'm good.
This thing is fucking up. Well, thanks for coming by, man. We're gonna wrap this up because we got another show to record right now. We got to kick you out and record another show about.
Can I get my watches back?
About watches? I don't even think all the watches add up to one of these.
No.
In the next show.
The
I don't
next
think so.
one's
But
like mid-level watches.
You can take your watches back, but I'm gonna start Can I just like borrow them from your collection? Start borrowing shit. This is awesome. Thanks for coming by, man.
My pleasure.
Father's office. What do you want to plug? L'Auction? Restaurants? What are you doing? Plug something.
The new Father's office in downtown LA in a few months in the Arts District over at in the Gary Building right across
Awesome.
from Hauser Wirth. We're looking forward to that.
That's great.
First Father's office that far east.
Yeah, that's awesome. And L'Auction's doing well as well. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on John the Gold's. We're number 4 in LA and the whole city. That's such a good honor, and we're excited about that. And we're doing. We're going to be launching our tasting menu here in April.
Oh, awesome! Really?
Yeah.
Like prefix a tasting menu.
Prix-fix. Yeah.
So fucking losers like me can come eat there too.
I don't know why you couldn't come now, but
I could.
Yeah,
I could. I should.
losers welcome now or then.
Losers. I don't know where I'm going. That's what happens at the end of the show. It all fucking falls apart. I'm sorry. Go see Sang at Father's office downtown Santa Monica, Culver City, or L'Auction, or just say, oh wait, I have it here. Where'd it go? What happened? Oh, I have it go. Follow Sang on Instagram. Chef Sang Yoon, Sangyoon. He posts pictures of pretty food. Is that you? Who's that? Who's this picture of?
It's me.
Is that you?
Yeah. It's my most recent headshot.
It's lovely. Thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. We will be back next week, and we've got a selection of entry-level watches, Swiss, Japanese, between 500 and 1,000, and we're going to talk about that once we get this nice stuff off the table. Thanks, guys.